It's a Transformer Tuesday today here on the Transformer Slag podcast, and we got a bunch of reveals to talk about today. Let's jump into it like we always do, starting with, of course, our elusive Studio Series Japanese teasers. We now have full promo images, the stock images, information, when it's dropping, what it comes with, and then some. So let's start with Transformers Studio Series Transformers 1 Deluxe Class Orion Pax. This thing is hype. Super excited about it. More Transformer 1 product. Got a whole bunch of images here. We finally see how he looks, his full main body, all the stuff that he comes with. So his little mining tool is called the Excavator. Looks really cool. Again, I always felt like it was kind of like a spiritual prototype to what would be his axe weapon later. It's almost like that's what they were kind of going with in a lot of ways. Some kind of, accessory. But the big thing on top of it all, on top of that cool tool, they show us how the alt mode looks and everything like that, how you could store the mining accessory on the back. Like, what a great sculpt. Looks amazing. I love what they do here. But there's a little extra that was included that we didn't expect, and it's that of a 3D Matrix exploration map that is also included. Now, from what it looks like, it's a female ported accessory, meaning that it's not on a 3mm peg. It's something you put over a 3mm peg. And I mean, it's a cool little addition. Again, sadly, judging by the fact that it's a female ported 3mm peg, it won't be able to attach to other characters like, let's say, Elita 1 Studio Series or Bumblebees. But that being said, we didn't really see Elita 1 holding it outside of her being cogless. That was the only time we really saw Elita 1 with that, so it wouldn't make sense to use it with the Studio Series version that is cogged. And I mean, heck, when you think about it, the cogless Orion Pax was where we saw this being held most by him, and with that 3D hologram map. And we only really saw it for a quick moment when he had his cog, and then, of course, for a hot second with D16 too, so I mean, it still looks great that it's getting included. I love it. It's more world building. It's more accessories. It's more stuff that's being added to the grander scheme of things. And considering how much I love this movie, that's really cool to see that. I mean, hopefully now that we have this thing, maybe we'll get a D16 cogged version in the near future, and he'll get that great Studio Series treatment, and then he could join both the Bumblebee and the Lita that we've already gotten to this point. Now our core class of 4 will finally be complete in the upper scale of price points. And then, of course, give me a Voyager class Optimus and Megatron so they could scale a little better, and some core class cogless bots, and we'll have everyone else. Give me more. Give me the High Guard and beyond. I just want more Transformer 1 product. But this is fantastic. Super stoked about this. Looks really, really good. I love what I see here. And I just hope that we see more. I mean, maybe they could take this and do a crazy partial out of it and do it like the half-dead, shot-up Orion even. I mean, they could do all kinds of crazy stuff with this tooling afterwards, have some fun. Because while the movie might have not done well with the masses, it is a celebrated thing among the fandom, and we'll keep buying it as you guys keep making it, that's for sure. And then we got Transformers Studio Series Devastation Bumblebee. So this looks more or less as we expected. Now we know like the accessories that are going to come with it. So he comes with a large gun that can be plugged onto the back of the robot mode, but also the back of the vehicle mode. This is obviously to give a nod to in the game that in vehicle mode you have a big blaster on the back that could shoot and everything. So it represents that. So that's pretty cool. Comes with 2 dual wielding pistols that are hollowed out on the inside. There's a lot of we could get into the balance of budget when it comes to this figure, because it's hollowed out the guns, but the fact that the guns exist are also a nice addition, because the B itself is going to be a smaller figure, so they're going to balance it out in that deluxe class price point by giving extra accessories, 2 guns, the big blaster on the back, adding a little extra to that. Again, the big gun could be stored on the back of the vehicle mode. The 2 smaller guns could also be stored on the sides of the vehicle mode, adding a whole bunch of different display, options here. Again, that alt mode itself, inspired by the Devastation game, but also doing a nod to the original 2006 Classics Bumblebee, which is AKA license-free alt mode car. So really like how it turned out. And here's some shots, because I'm sure people are going to be doing comparisons because they all want to have their perfect B in their display. But here's some shots next to Classics Bumblebee from 2006. Here's a shot next to the Netflix Bumblebee that at one point people were killing each other over. The irony how time heals all. And here's a shot next to Studio Series 86 Bumblebee, which maybe to some that's the best version for your deluxe display. So here's all of those, and you could pick which one you feel is the best, including this one with it too. Now the question is, now that they got this B mold and we know what they do with these Bumblebee molds, what could they do with it next? Are we going to see like a Devastation DLC pack redeco into the Goldfire Bumblebee, aka Goldbug, maybe with a new weapon and new head sculpt? It's a possibility. Some fans were suggesting some cool stuff, like, you know, they were looking at like the tooling and the surface details of this Devastation Bumblebee, and they're saying there might be some future decos and, you know, partials into throttle bots like Searchlight and stuff. So, you know, that'd be kind of cool. High time for some of those guys to get proper updates and something fresh. So I could dig that. That's pretty cool. So these two are going to be part of what's called an A-level assortment of deluxes. So what that means essentially is normally deluxes, they ship in cases of 8, 4 characters per case, 2 of each character, full case of 8 figures. But the A-level assortment, while it's still 8 figurines in an assortment, as in a case, the A-level represents 2 popular characters, A-level characters. So what's going to happen with these guys is they're going to ship in cases of 8, but it's going to be 4 Bumblebees and 4 Optimuses. The first time we actually had this A-level assortment was in 2024, and it was Studio Series Transformers 1 Deluxe Class, Transformers 1 Optimus Prime, and the Studio Series 86 Bumblebee together. It's kind of funny that those two are repeating themselves. You know, it's another Transformer 1 Optimus in a sense, and it's another G1 inspired Bumblebee in this A-level assortment. But the thing with A-level also on top of it, just focusing more on just 2 figures as opposed to 4, they also have a longer distribution window for retail. And if Black Friday showed us anything, you know, a year later, we're still seeing plenty of Transformer 1 Optimus Primes and Studio Series 86 Bumblebees all this time later. So this gives me good hope that if you do want either of these two, there will be plenty of them in retail, and they're confident to do that they'll sell well. So I'm down for that. I mean, again, any more Transformer 1 product, that's the way I look at it. Now, according to the Japanese post, this is going to be starting for pre-orders December 4th, 2025, again, Japan time. So that's going to be like early evening, late evening, December 3rd for here in the West. So get ready for that. But we got more, though, because there's other stuff that's going to be dropping December 3rd in the evening, aka December 4th in Japan. According to JT Prime 17, again, a very reliable source for Transformer leaks, he has confirmed that also on December 3rd, for pre-orders, we'll be getting a full reveal of the Transformers Age of the Primes Commander Class Onslaught. And he will also be dropping alongside with the very first look and reveal of the Age of the Primes Deluxe Class Armada Sideways, which that's a really big one in itself. That's another Aaron Archie, Kuniharu-san designed character that is much needed update. And I'm very curious how they tackle that one, because I love the original Armada toys, but they're very toyetic and don't really lead to, you know, screen accuracy or crazy articulation. So now that we've gotten the really toyetic one from the Armada era more than 20 years ago, we'll finally get an update to that and make them much more sleeker and stuff. And I really hope that they maintain that Headmaster-esque, you know, swapping faction gimmick that he had before and everything. So very excited about that one. Very cool. Although very interesting to get another Sideways trademark so soon after we already got the Cybertron one. So that too also will be dropping December 3rd. And again, reminder, December 3rd is all of this stuff. Again, December 4th in Japan. But I also feel this is all going to kind of be interweaving with the CCXP this weekend, which is the Comic-Con experience in Brazil. Hasbro will be there December 5th to the 7th, and they're going to have a big panel with a bunch of reveals. They'll have a big booth there showing off a whole bunch of new product for the first time. So no doubt that's also going to kind of interweave with everything going on. And we'll probably see even more and some in-hand images and everything. So stay tuned for that here on the podcast. We'll definitely keep you posted on all of that. And that's it more or less here on Transformer Tuesday. But man, that Transformer one, Orion, that one's got me. That one's got me by the heartstrings. I'm very excited about that one. I think I'm going to go rewatch the movie again for the millionth time. But thanks again for listening to the Transformer Slag podcast and keeping you educated, entertained, and informed on everything going on in our beautiful Transformer world. And I'll talk to you in the near future.